It's Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. Markets just closed a little while ago. Dow Jones down over 300, NASDAQ down over 100. At one point, the Dow Jones was down over 500 points today. We are going to get a rate increase tomorrow, minimum 75 basis points. We are no doubt going to watch the Fed destroy the U.S. economy. I find it very hard to believe that we're going to be able to fight inflation when we are not being aggressive enough, and at the same time, the government cannot stop spending money. This is a terrible combination, raising rates and having out of control spending as we give countries all over the world billions of dollars, as we bail out students in college loan debt, billions of dollars that the taxpayer is on the hook for, causing more inflation. And I think this is just a terrible combination that at some point is going to be very, very catastrophic to the U.S. economy and to the survival of the average American, the average taxpayer. Carlyle Group co-founder, billionaire David Rubenstein warns if Fed hikes 100 basis points, it would be shocking to the market. I watched this interview yesterday on Fox Business, and he said that if the Fed does raise 100 points tomorrow, this will shock markets. And also, it will indicate to people that inflation is much worse than they think. Now, I want all of you to comment down below. What's going to happen tomorrow? Is it 75 basis points or is it going to be 100? I would not be shocked to see a 100 basis point rate hike tomorrow. I do believe odds are it's going to be 75. If the Fed had any guts at all, they would go 100 plus basis points tomorrow, but I don't think they do. I think they're going to play it safe. This is going to absolutely hurt the economy, hurt markets. But when you have 0% interest rates for nearly a decade, when you're buying back mortgage-backed securities during a housing boom, when you're injecting trillions of dollars into the economy, into the markets, this also is catastrophic to the economy, to the markets. And now we're doing a complete 180, and it is just going to be relentless with the amount of pain people are about to feel. They're feeling it right now. Many people, we're all feeling it somewhere. You go to the gas station, you go to the grocery store, you're feeling the pain. But now, as we raise rates, after we reverse on all this money printing, as we leave QE and go to QT, and as we're now going to vacuum up this cash out of the system after we were pumping it and injecting it on a daily basis, it's going to have a serious negative impact on the average person's daily life, their standard of living, their purchasing power, the amount that they can save. We look at the savings rate in America at 5%. I don't even know if it's that. We have a nation that lives paycheck to paycheck, a nation that has nothing saved up, a nation that is dependent on credit cards in order to buy stuff. This is going to get very concerning. It's about to get very, very scary, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one today. Fed unlikely to cut interest rates until 2024, Goldman Sachs says. And it goes on to say 2024 at the soonest. The bank, Goldman Sachs economist Jan Hatzius predicted that the U.S. central bank will raise interest rates 4 more times between now and the end of 2023. 50 basis points back-to-back in November and December, followed by a 25 basis point hike in 2023. If this isn't having any effect on inflation, we're going to be raising more times, multiple times in 2023, not just one quarter basis point hike in 2023. I would think it would be multiple times. I think what's also very concerning for the Fed is this. They're telling us inflation is 8.3%. You know it's 17, 18, 20%. If they continue to raise rates and it's not working, When do people begin to ask, why isn't it working? If we get to 4%, 5% Fed's fund rate and nothing's happening, then you go 6, 7, nothing's happening. When do people go, hey, why is it not working? And when do people put 2 and 2 together, connect the dots that maybe inflation is much higher than they're actually telling us? Remember, they told us it was transitory. Remember, they told us that, I remember Janet Yellen years ago said that we would never see an economic downturn in our lifetime. They've been wrong about everything, everything. They were going to fight inflation, win. Well, now inflation is absolutely beating the Fed to the punch. So at some point, people are going to realize that as interest rates go up and inflation is going up even faster, something's wrong. And I believe that something is that the real inflation number is not 8.3%. CNBC today, Ford stock on pace for worst day in more than 11 years after cost warning. Ford stock was down 12.3% today, 37% year to date. It's down 37% year to date. They warned investors of a $1 billion in unexpected supplier cost. The automaker lost $7 billion off of its market value. This is unbelievable. I didn't see it mentioned once on the television today. And you would think that one of the largest automakers on planet Earth losing $7 billion in market value, being down 12.3% today, being down 37% year to date, you think that that would have some kind of impact on the markets today. I think the markets should have been down much, much more than they were. But again, I think there's a lot of hope out there that the Fed is going to pivot, that maybe the Fed will only go 50 basis points tomorrow. It won't be that bad. We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to find out. The hedge today, U.S. building permits crash in August. Multifamily starts hit record highs. So we had the biggest monthly jump in starts since March of 2021 and the biggest monthly crash in permits since 2020. Interesting fact in this article, all the gains in those building starts were driven by multi-family units, which soared 28.6% month over month. If people aren't buying houses, if they can't buy houses, they're going to have to live somewhere, and it's going to be in apartments. They're going to rent apartments. 30-year fixed rate today. You want to get a mortgage. You want to get a 30-year fixed mortgage today? 6.38%. That's if you have perfect credit, 800 plus FICO. That's if you have 20% down. You're going to get 6.38%. Now, if you're going to put down less than 20% and you have a FICO not at 800 or at 850, you're going to be probably paying around 7, maybe a little bit more than 7% on a 30-year fixed rate today. How many people are going to be able to do this? This spells disaster for the housing market. And we have not seen 6.38% for some time. What happens tomorrow as we get another rate hike? What's going to happen to that 6.38%? I truly do believe, as I said a couple months ago, we will see 7% rates on a 30-year this year in 2022. And I'm going to stick to that. I think that by the end of this year, we're going to see 7+% on a 30-year fixed rate. Article from Fox Business today, and this really stuck out a little bit. I find this pretty interesting. Halloween spending to reach record $10.6 billion. Consumers are expected to dole out $2.9 billion on costumes alone. The NRF projected that Halloween spending will reach a new record this year. It'll be higher than even 2019. Each consumer is projected to dole out $100 on candy, decorations, and costumes. And much of this is going to be adults. And it's these adults, the same people who say that they have no money, they have no cash reserve, no capital, they don't own an ounce of gold, they don't own an ounce of silver. But it's the same people who will go out 45 years old and buy a Spider-Man costume. And this will be a 45-year-old adult man in a Spider-Man costume with a keg of beer with his friends this Halloween. This is the problem today, ladies and gentlemen, and these are the people who are going to get exactly what they deserve. These are the people who just cannot adapt to what is happening. They're in denial, but they always have excuses of why they're broke, why they're living paycheck to paycheck. The same people spending, the $8 or $9 on the lattes, going to Starbucks twice a day, always complaining that they're broke, don't have any money, don't have any savings, can't afford, always an excuse why they can't afford assets, can't afford an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver. These same exact people. But they have a keg of beer and they have a Spider-Man costume. These people are in big trouble. These are the people who are in big trouble. And these are the same people who are going to come knocking at your door when this whole thing unravels. They're going to come for help. They're going to need money. Their kids are going to need food. They're going to need somebody to protect them because, we're seeing a lot more violence, an uptick in violence. And these people are, they don't know how to take care of themselves. They don't have the tools. They don't have the training. They don't have the security. But these people will come to your door and beg for help. Remember, it's these people, the 45-year-old male who went out and bought a Spider-Man costume and a keg of beer, and he's going to celebrate with his friends, and they're going to have a good time on this Halloween instead of preparing. And this is the mentality that we see today, and this is why so many people are going to get absolutely wiped out and devastated when the bottom falls out with this economy. These are the people that'll lose their homes. They're losing their cars, have no money saved up. And I just cannot believe when I read articles like this that we have adults acting like 12-year-olds today. And they are so unprepared for what is about to happen. And these people have kids too. And their kids are going to be in big trouble because their parents did not prepare. Their parents did not look reality in the eye. They just want to continue to be kids, and in doing so, they are completely unprepared and they're jeopardizing their families and their kids. And this is extremely dangerous. This is not the time to be partying. Look, I have nothing against a good time. Nothing, if you want to go to a football game or whatever and waste your money with those groups, just remember they're going to use that money against you one way or another, and they hate you. Sports to me, other than the UFC, maybe motorcycle racing and things like that, but your mainstream sports, baseball, football, basketball, even hockey, even NASCAR, I really have lost complete respect for, and they don't like you. So remember that. So I can't give these entities 1 cent of my money or 1 second of my time. But getting back to this, we have a society today where we have adults playing video games, smoking a lot of dope, wearing Halloween costumes and whatnot. And this is what is so scary about this downturn, this collapse, is we've never seen a time in our society where people are so unprepared, so immature, so into denial, so naive. And this is what makes it so dangerous, because they're completely unprepared mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. So make sure you stay on path. Here's another one. More Americans racking up credit card debt as inflation rages. This on Fox Business. Americans must borrow money in order to spend. So the individual who has to go out and buy the Spider-Man costume, he's going to put it on a credit card. He's going to go get that big keg of beer for his friends, going to put it on the credit card. All of this now being supported with credit. And the average individual credit card debt is skyrocketing. We've never seen it this bad. And if you're going to put something on a credit card, you're better to put something essential on that credit card, not a costume, not beer, not a ticket to a sporting event. If you're going to use it for essentials and you're forced to, then you got to do what you got to do. But people just cannot admit, and they just cannot give in to what's going on. They are reluctant to change their life, lower their standard of living. They're reluctant. They are fighting this economy right now. They are in complete denial, and they're going to continue to go broke, trying to stay middle class, trying to impress people on social media. These are the same type of people who will take all the pictures, put it up on social media, hoping for the attention, the admiration, that people are going to like them and look at them and give them attention while they continue to go broke. But getting back to this article on Fox Business, creditcards.com shows that at least 60% of credit card holders have been carrying balances on their card for at least a year. This is a big increase from 2021 when that number was only 10%. So in a year, we went from 10% to 60%. 59% of Americans who earn less than $50,000 a year carry a credit card balance from month to month. 49% of those who earn $50,000 to $80,000 carry a balance month to month. And 46% of people who earn between $80,000 and $100,000 carry a credit card balance month to month. If things were so good right now, we would not see the type of credit card debt that we're seeing right now. Also, crime is another indicator of what's happening. I cannot believe the amount of crime that is taking place. Another indication that the economy is collapsing. So we're going to see debts getting bigger, deficits getting bigger, credit card debt getting bigger. We're going to see more crime. Crime rate's going to get bigger. All this is an indicator that we are in an economic collapse right now. There used to be people that would write me, when is it going to collapse? When is it going to collapse? And it used to really intrigue me that these people couldn't realize that they were in a collapse right now, that this thing has been collapsing for years and nobody realized it. Those people have disappeared now because they've seen the stock market completely wrecked. They've seen cryptos wrecked. They've seen their jobs wrecked. And the wreckage is going to continue. We're going to see more fallout, more fragmentation, more blowback from all the money printing, all the quantitative easing, the low rates, and all the magic tricks. It's just begun, ladies and gentlemen. It's just begun. Here's how many people will get student loan forgiveness in each state. This was on CNBC today. Well, right here in California, 3.5 million will get loan forgiveness. Texas, 3 million will get loan forgiveness. Florida, 2.4 million people will get loan forgiveness. And what's really sickening is if you make up to $125,000, you're eligible for this loan forgiveness of $10,000. Think about that. If you're making $125,000, do you really need loan forgiveness? If you have a household income of up to $250,000, you're eligible for this loan forgiveness. The person making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year must be sick. I'm sick watching what is taking place and how the hardworking taxpayer is being taken advantage of and being put on the hook for other people's obligations. Absolutely sickening. It's repulsive. It's disgusting. Actually, I believe it's criminal. And people should be disgusted with what is taking place right now. But tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. I do believe that the odds are no doubt 75 basis points, but I would not be shocked to see a curveball tomorrow, 100 basis points by the Fed. We'll see what happens. Either way, this is going to be it's going to be harsh on the markets, no doubt. And remember, every time these interest rates go up, what it's doing to consumer debt, to your credit cards, to mortgage payments, auto payments, anytime you need to borrow money, this is going to be extremely hard on small businesses that need to borrow money, medium businesses that need to borrow money. Think about all the zombie companies out there that have basically stayed alive because of all the cheap money. And now money's not so cheap. It's going to get much more difficult for these zombie companies to exist. And again, small and medium businesses to exist. The world goes around with credit. We are beginning to see a liquidity crisis now as credit becomes more expensive. And this is going to have a major negative impact on the U.S. economy. And we are seeing rates around the globe going up. And so this is going to be a global problem. We're going to see a global depression take place. And I really hope and pray that all of you have been preparing. And as I leave you today, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't be one of these fools. This is so ignorant where you have adult people running out and buying Halloween costumes and just living like there's no problem today, where many of these people are behind on car payments, rent, mortgages, and they're going to take their money and go out and party it away. These people are going to get what they deserve. These are going to be the people that lose. The people who've been patient, the people who have stuck to the plan, the people who have been awake and critically thinking and aware what is taking place are going to be the people who capitalize. And these people that we're talking about right now who just ignore reality and are just naive, I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for these people when they lose their cars, their boats, their houses. I'm not going to feel sorry. And I may buy one of these people's homes because these are the type of people who put themselves into jeopardy, and they're going to lose their toys and they're going to lose their homes. And yes, I may buy their home. I may take advantage of the sale. I didn't ask these people to party their lives away. I didn't ask these people to go into a coma. I didn't ask them to jump into the matrix. I've done, just like many of you, as much as I could to wake people up and to prepare for the biggest economic downturn the world has ever seen. I don't want to buy your house. I don't want to buy your car. I want everybody out there to win, to be successful, to be safe, to be protected, and to prosper. But how can you feel sorry for people like this who post this, every weekend on social media, their $25 cocktails, their steak dinners, their Vegas trips, their Halloween costumes, their Halloween parties? And these are the people who are going to lose it all. I don't feel sorry for these people. It's going to be these people who allow us to capitalize and win. And there's going to be two sides to the outcome of this wealth transfer: the winners and the losers. There's going to be very few winners, and there's going to be a multitude of losers. And you really have to pick what side you want to be on. And if you haven't been preparing, you're going to be in very, very big trouble. I don't know when this whole thing is going to implode, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how close we're getting to something very, very big, and how bad this economy is right now as we witness the collapse taking place every day. So get your house in order, get ready, get your preparations in order. Anything from security down to food, water, assets, training, skill sets, you name it. Pharmaceuticals, vitamins, candles, propane tanks, just get your house in order, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress it enough. I'm going to leave it there today. I know I'm ranting. I'm looking very forward to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Comment down below. Is it going to be 75 basis points or 100 basis points? Let me know. God bless you all. Thanks for watching. Share this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. God bless.